righty. Thanks so much for staying here with us, and I'm sure that you've been enjoying all those beautiful songs back to back. Don't say we did not do anything for you at the end of the day. Okay, now, joining us on the show this afternoon is a talented gospel singer and songwriter who rose to fame at the age of 10 with a hit song, Osemudiame, in 1998. Her music career was independently managed by her father, who had worked with so many top musicians, and he was credited with the production, distribution, and marketing of her music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Benita Okojie, aka Mrs. A.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me even tell you this.
Thank you.
So weeks ago, somebody was talking about you, and the person was not saying, "Oh, that Benita woman, I would never have."
It didn't sit well.
Yeah. So when the person now explained further, now say that because when the person was saying, everybody was here. So my reaction, so he said, that Benita woman. I said, Benita woman. So I'm saying, yes, that one that is. I passed out. I said, me, I don't see Benita as Benita woman.
I actually get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's weird, but not anymore, because I'm just like, you guys, just get over it. Yes,
because I had to call the person else. I said, hey, that Benita woman, and you'll be here disrespecting me.
Welcome to the show, Benita.
Thank you so much for having me.
How was it for you growing up with that level of stardom first?
I think the funny thing is I had no idea that I was that popular. I didn't know. I didn't even have any idea. And it's now that I'm older that I'm beginning to understand that, oh, I made some form of impact. I had no idea. My parents did a wonderful job of just letting me get the work done and not allowing all of that to get, into my head.
How about at school? Like, you didn't have
and then
mates?
I had more friends. So I knew I had more friends. I think what I didn't understand was how much impact. I knew that, people knew me. Everybody knows me. That's fine. But I didn't know that people outside the country knew me. And then I think now that I'm older, when I see my age mates saying, that year my parents gave me a tough time, I'm like, I had no idea. I was just doing my best then. So I didn't know that much. But now I know that, the child then, the Benita then, did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of her because now that I'm back in the music scene, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of work to be done.
Amazing. And you had your dad managing
My dad
you.
was
How
like
was that?
He was like, I was just looking at what Honeypot was saying just now. He was my distributor, he was my marketer, he was my producer, he was my financier, he was like everything at
and
the
your
time.
mother was
my
like
mom
your
was the composer. She was in charge of our costumes. She would sew a lot of our clothes that we did for the videos.
Oh, wow.
She was in charge of food. She was my travel PA. She was doing. My parents were such. They were such like huge blessings
your videos,
to me. She was also a video vixen. So I was going to say.
Wait, are you the only child?
No. I'm the second child of the first girl. There's Bella Rose.
So how did they balance it that one child didn't feel like,
my parents,
okay?
I actually I pride in the fact that I had the best parents in the world. My dad, God rest his soul. My siblings we were such a closely knit family that anytime I had anything to do, it was a family affair. My dad would say, Benjamin, you are going to be in the video too. Just go and tell your friends. And then you'll be like, Bella, you're going to be in the video too. You are going to ginger Benny. I was very quiet as a child. I think I still am.
Yeah.
But my sister was like so my dad would say, go and ginger Benny. So if I was just looking like Bella would just come and do some abracadabra, and then I would be so excited. So everybody had a role to play. So there was no room for jealousy. There was
rivalry.
We hardly had sibling rivalry. We hardly had that because everybody felt like if it was for Benny, it was for everybody. And then when there was money, my dad would dash us money, and they would say, okay, you did a good job, you did a good job. So there was really no room for jealousy or anything.
Oh, beautiful.
They balanced it really well.
Beautiful.
Really well.
All right, now let's talk about you as a mother, as a wife, because I see that you do so much on your channels, on your platforms, the platforms that you are on. And so I see every now and then you're talking about, you're doing like maybe TikTok about, when you go to a party and you ask a toddler, yeah, so you want to talk to us about that?
Well, when I had motherhood happens to everyone. At different stages of their lives, and then nothing prepares you for it. People tell you, when you have children, you won't know who you are again, and then you're just like, I beg, let me get there first. And then I became a mom, and it just seemed like I didn't know what was going on with me anymore. I felt like my privacy was invaded upon. I felt like my body had changed. My body has actually changed. As I'm here now, I'm on a imaginary diet.
We all are.
Compared to somebody who is, you know. And then after I had children, everything just changed. And then I kept asking questions. And I felt like I didn't have all the answers that I needed. So I was like, you know what? My sister was like, you know what? How about you share this with people and other moms who follow you might be able to relate and they can also advise you. And the first post I did was so huge. A lot of moms started telling me stuff about, I think I went to immunize my son. And then he was crying so much, and then I was crying. And I was like, is this how motherhood is? How come I'm crying and my child is crying? And so I was like, you know, I need answers. And then a lot of moms were like, I don't think you cried as much as I did. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Then I'm fine, you know. So that's really how it started. And so ever since, I have been doing more like that. Now I have a daughter. So I'm like, okay, the dynamics are different. When you have a son, it's different. When you have a daughter, it's different.
Interesting.
So I just started sharing that, and I started realizing that I'm not alone. A lot of the things I think, a lot of mothers think like that. So a lot of mothers can relate. And that's really how it started.
How about you, Career? Do you think that actually took a part of you away?
Definitely.
Talk to us about it. How do you feel about it?
I'm not even going to come here and tell you, oh, my life is so together. That's a lie. Because when you have children, it's different. It's really different. Like, I needed to come here today. My mom is babysitting my children. Wow. Or if it's weekends, my husband has to babysit them. So there's like, everything changes. So you have to start planning. If I have things to do like a week before, I have to plan a week before that week, before I get things done. Because you have little people who are like depending on you for everything. And sometimes there was a live I was doing the other day on Instagram, and then my son kept mommy, and I'm like, and he says, okay, mommy, what are you doing? And it's not even like our days when we're young, when once your parents eye you, you know
you
what
understand.
I'm like this. My son's like, mommy, what's wrong with your eyes? Your eye penny you. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So it's completely different. So you just have to plan. A lot of time I have to plan. And I wasn't a planner before. I'm like, I can't be bothered. But now I have to plan. And it makes my life a lot easier. And then I also have to get family to help out, sometimes babysitting them. And now I'm just excited that I'm in a space where I can now do things for myself. Before I used to feel like, when I became a mom, I couldn't do anything. Every time I want to think of even going out, I'm like, okay, there's no one to watch them. Okay, that plan has failed, or I can't do that anymore. But I'm now beginning to realize that it's okay to want to do things for myself. It's okay to want to go after my dreams, even though I have children, even though I have a husband who's really supportive, and so that makes it a lot easier. But I can do things for myself, and I can also be a good mom to my children.
Yeah,
balance is not. Balance is not real. It's a scam. That's the truth. Like when people tell you,
school laws.
No, just be real. I'm like, how do you balance? Well, there's no balance here.
Balance is scam. Like motivational speakers.
He says scam. Like, because some days you won't be there for your children. Like you won't be there when they're going to bed. I've had days like that, and I really feel horrible about it because I had to be somewhere. And then when I get home, when they're even sleeping, I literally go and carry them and just be like, I really wish I was here before you went to bed. But now that I'm here, let me just hug you till you wake up in the morning. And so there are days when you won't be able to be the mom that you want to be, or there are days also where you have to go for events, or you can even turn down some events. But just do what works for you and hope that you are doing your best. That's really it.
Welcome back, guys. We still have Benita in the building.
The Benita woman.
See, I know it's funny how viral, and I can say viral now that we know this song actually went viral to the point there was even a remix. Something
How do you feel when you heard it? I was just like, what's wrong with these people? How can you change a beautiful song to a gospel song? My goodness.
So I think what it was for we that we couldn't speak the language.
Let's see what we can see.
My dad would say, it don't blow with that. Like, it has gone viral. So don't even worry about whatever people say. And it's funny how even now that was done 20.
Oh, you were so small.
I'm trying to calculate my age.
You were so small.
About 23 years ago. That was on 23 years ago. So it's funny how even when we played the song now, when sometimes I go for events and then we sing the song and then people are like, oh, that's the girl. It just means that people still appreciate that song. And I'm not supposed to say it here, but we're already working on an Edo song that is going to have a little bit of Osemudiame.
We can't wait wait for that.
It's coming this month, actually, later in the month, I'm excited.
And I see that you've been working because you've got Merciful out, right?
Yes.
You want to talk to us about Merciful?
Yes, I'm so excited. I took a long break. My dad passed, that was hard, and then I started feeling, do I still want to do music and all? And then, well, God sent an amazing man, you know, and I got married to him.
Mr.
And then I also had children. I also had to take a break again because that was like a completely different experience all on its own. And then the minute I felt like, you know, God was pushing me to now start, you know, doing what I really love to do, I came back. And I was going to the studio the day we actually recorded Merciful. I had another song completely planned out, you know, to record in the studio. And then I was bathing my son, and I was like, you know what, let me get him ready, and then I'll take him along with me. And then I couldn't stop singing this particular song, which is Merciful.
So inspiration came when?
It wasn't like I wrote it or anything like that. I just kept singing. I was like, okay, this is not the song I'm going to record today. I don't know where this song is. So, and then sometimes when I write songs, sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes years. So, and then when I got to the studio, I told the producer, I said, I think this is the song we should record instead of the song I had in mind. And he was like, okay. And then I started recording. I was like, forget about the verse. Maybe we'll do it when I come. And then I was like, okay, hold on. And then the verse just came also while we were recording. Oh, wow. So I'm like, okay, this cannot be me. And then this must really feel like, you know, God wants me to, you know, release the song for the season. And the moment we finished recording, I sat down and I listened to the song, and then it began to make a lot of sense to me. I realized that 2020 was a year of bass-bows for everybody. And then 2021 too had its own fair share of bass-bows too. But if you can actually look at your life and look at how far you have come, you will know that one way or the other, mercy has spoken for you. And that's really how Merciful came about. And that's why we decided to release it when we did.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Amazing. Now, you started at a young age getting into music. What advice would you have? Because we know it's different these days. Parents want their children to actually play football and do music compared to back then. What advice would you have for kids and, of course, parents? I'll
say don't push your children to do what you want them to do. You know, encourage them to do what they want to do or what it is that God has deposited in them. Because sometimes some parents actually live their own dreams through their own children. And it's a problem because it's almost like the child has turned into a robot and you're doing only what you want for them. And that's not why they were created in the first place. They were created to chart their own course, to be who they want to be, to fulfill, to provide solutions to, you know, to the world in their own way, not in your own way. So I'd say parents should first encourage your children to be who God has ordained them to be. Support them emotionally, mentally, because the world we live in now is different from the world I lived in when I was a child. A lot of things were safer. It was easier to do music and not be easily influenced because you have like a strong circle, you know. But now, strong circle or no strong circle, it's God that is saving all of us, you know. So you just parents should be prayerful. Pray for your children, and then, you know, be intentional about the kind of friends that your children keep. I think it's so important about the friends that we let into our lives, because some friends are there to eat us up, and while some are there to push us to even being better at what we do. I think that would be my advice. And now that I'm a parent, I can now see the work that my parents put into actually helping me.
Amazing. All right, so now that you're back making music, who would you like to work with? Or who are a list of people you'd like to work with?
Number one in my list, without even thinking at all, be Nathaniel Bassey.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan.
Okay, hallelujah challenge.
I'm such a huge fan, and his songs have really blessed me. I've listened to his songs, and I felt like, okay, this can't be ordinary, you know. And so, yeah, he's definitely one person I'd like to work with. Is there any other person? Let me look at internationally now. I think Cece Winans will be the next person.
Okay.
I love her voice. It would have been Whitney Houston, but you know, she's no more. I loved her voice. But Cece Winans, I love her voice.
You would have done gospel with Whitney Houston.
I love Whitney so much. I remember that when I was younger, I used to try to sing like her. And my dad would say,
no bother. Don't try him.
But I say, no walking, no walk. So but I love her, you know, I loved the way she used to sing. But Cece Winans is close to it. I really love the way she sings. I love what she stands for. And I love how she's been able to, you know, she's been able to bring up a family that has had literally no controversies. And she's done an amazing job. So I would love to work with Cece too.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, well, the Benita woman. We would really like to thank you for coming on the show today, especially a Thursday. That we can have you on a Thursday show. Throwback.
Yes.
It's huge, Joe. I mean, it's huge. What are you talking about?
When they say that something huge is coming,
I learned something today. Huge.